folks, and welcome back to another episode of Pinal Prep Spotlight, brought to you by 911 Air Repair, your local air conditioning expert specializing in maintenance, repair, and new installations. Our game of the week is on the girls' side. I think it's the first time we're actually talking about our girls' team prior to our top picks for the season. So our game of the week involves Poston Butte. It is a Thursday game. They will be out at American Leadership Academy, Queen Creek, and let's see how this week goes. David, talk a little bit about this Poston team.
Well, I won't talk more about them, so I actually give you some room to talk about them. So, Poston Butte has been one of our favorite teams on the girls' side of basketball from them. We really like what they've been able to do with that program, especially when it starts with their head coach, Savannah Bix. I think she's one of the best coaches that Pinal County has to offer, regardless of sport. What she's able to get out of her players is just a really good a testament to what she's able to do on her for her coaching regimen. And for this team, they're pretty solid. They're 6-6 right now. They're currently ranked 23 in the rankings. So there's definitely room for improvement. I think a lot of that just has to do with how many seniors they lost last year. They kind of had a really good group with that team this year, but that's not saying they don't have girls who can play right now with this team. We'll start with their top leading scorer right now with Samira Gray. She's averaging 12.5 points right now, and she's really been like the next girl up for this team. She was just a sophomore last year and already had a really good sophomore season. Junior now, she's doing even better. She's going to be continuing to kind of progress as well. So she's not at her ceiling yet. She definitely has more to her game that she's going to get out of eventually, and I think she's definitely on the right track here. And I think this team just needs to kind of find their groove again. It's kind of figuring out what they need to do to get to that position, because this could be a perennial playoff team if they're continuing to just kind of build up this program and get all the newcomers bought into what Savannah's trying to do out there. So I really like this team, and I'm just expecting them to continue to try to just chip away a little bit and maybe move up just a little bit more in the rankings to get into at least a play-in spot and find their way into these 4A playoffs. They definitely have a chance here if they can continue to just kind of stay together as a team, but also produce when they need to on the floor. They have a good shot. So I like this team, and they just got to continue to do what they do.
The thing about this game, this is a pretty big game for both teams. Right now, prior to the AIA rankings being released for the upcoming week, both of these teams are sitting like in that 22-23 spot. Either one of them slips up, then they will likely be on the outside looking in a couple weeks here when it comes to the 4A conference play-in game. But they already played once back on January 11th, and ALA Queen Creek won that game 47-28. The big thing for Poston Butte was they were without Samira Gray in this game. Leading the way back then was freshman Milan Silvera. She had 13 points, 4 rebounds, 5 steals. Julia Harris isn't really known for her scoring ability. She's all about the defense, and she had 14 rebounds. And then Autumn Thomas, 9 points and 6 rebounds. The thing here is they got to find a way to score, which is kind of something that Poston Butte has lacked in previous years, but they've made up for it on the defensive end. They were just that gritty, annoying team that a lot of opponents hated to face because they would frustrate you with their defense. They kind of shied away from that a little bit, but it's just because these girls are so new, like David mentioned it. They're still not completely bought into what head coach Savannah Bix is trying to do here, but that will come eventually, as they get more comfortable on the floor, playing with each other, playing at the varsity level. I mentioned them having a freshman. Milan Silvera has been a fantastic addition, and I'm just really excited to see what the next 3 years brings for her. Looking at ALA Queen Creek, like many other teams across the state, not a lot of stats to go off of. The little bit that they do have, leading the way, I assume, is Chloe Hancock, 8.7 points a game, and Brinley Klaus, 8.1 points per game. Overall, I think this will be a much more tightly contested battle compared to their first game, but we will have to wait and see. As I mentioned, this is a Thursday game, so be sure to check out Pinal Central throughout the week for all of our winter sports coverage.